Hey guys, I know Justin wanted to make a video to update you guys yesterday, but he was just really out of it yesterday, so he wasn't able to make a video. So I'm gonna do it on behalf of him. I'm gonna just go through and explain what's been going on and what we've been going through the last month, because I know he gave little bits and pieces of it in his last couple of videos, but not to the extent of what actually happened. So I know that he wants to document all of this and to let everybody know. So I'm gonna try to help him. So we actually came into the hospital on Mother's Day, so May 9th, because he was eating, but he kept throwing everything up and nothing else was coming out. So he was eating and just nothing was coming out of him. So we went into the emergency room. We were in there for about a week until they transferred him up to the ICU on Friday. And then Saturday, I get a phone call about 6 o'clock in the morning saying that Justin stopped talking and he's just sitting there on the bed. And they were going to start dialysis on him because they think that he had just too much ammonia in his body and he was just septic. And so they wanted to start the dialysis machine. So I told them to do it. And then I am trying to drive over here. I was actually so proud of myself because I was early that day. And I was thinking in my head, oh, he's gonna be so happy that I'm so early because I am not punctual at all. And he's the punctual one, so it drives him nuts. But I was early that day. And then I got a phone call at about 10 o'clock on the dot from the doctor. And he said, I'm a doctor from liver surgery. And, I'm thinking in my head, great, I want to talk to you. You're the one I want to talk to. Because I want to go over, a couple things of what's going on with Justin. And hopefully we can get more of a status update on when he's going to get his liver. And, just ask him a bunch of questions like that. And the next thing I hear out of his mouth was that my husband's heart stopped. So that was probably one of the worst days of my life that I received that phone call. And all I could do was I was at the top of the parking garage and I just threw everything down and I started to run into the hospital. And all you're thinking of and all you're doing and all you're trying to do is listen to the person on the other end of that phone. All you're fishing for really is for them to say that they're okay. Justin's okay. And that's the only thing I was trying to find when he was talking. He was trying to explain what had happened and how it happened. And the only thing I was listening for was to make sure that he was okay. And so I told him that I was here and that I would be in there in 2 minutes. And so I ran my butt into the hospital. I cut in line through everybody. Everybody was so nice to let me through. And then I get up to his room and then I can't get in. So I just see him laying on the bed. And then all the doctors are hovering over him trying to get him more stable. So they did a great job. He had to be resuscitated twice. And then they got his heart started again. And then they had to put a breathing tube in him. They had to put, this poor kid. He had 2 big catheters, 2 on his left and 1 on his right. He had 2 other catheters in his groin, 1 on each side. And I think that was it. Plus they started the dialysis and then they intubated him. So he had a tube in his throat. So he couldn't talk. He wasn't awake because they had to sedate him to do that. But they got him stable that day. And that was a very long week. It was a very long week. He probably woke up. They started to wake him up around Tuesday because they needed to know if he was there. They needed to know that there was some brain activity going on. They needed to know if he could wake up. So they started to wake him up. They did a bunch of tests before then. They did some brain scans. They did an MRI of his head. They did a CT scan of his chest. They did a ton of blood work. They did a lot of stuff in those couple of days. But he started to wake up out of it. And he was in a lot of pain, of course. But finally, maybe around Wednesday and Thursday is when he actually started to really wake up. And they didn't take the breathing tube out probably until Friday. So he had it in for almost 6 days. And so he did okay with that. And then they got him up and running again. They gave him, a couple units of blood, some platelets. They started TPN, which is getting nutrition through an IV. So they started the TPN, and he started to gain his strength back. So that was a great thing. And then they started to accept, livers for him the following Monday, which would have been the 24th. The 23rd. It's the 23rd or the 24th. But it was that Monday, and that's when they started to accept offers for a liver for him, and that's the day that he was offered his liver. And he was ecstatic. He was ecstatic. He was so happy. So happy. And we just sat there and cried together because that's all you could do. And we also prayed. We prayed for him for a good recovery, and we also prayed for the donor's family. And we appreciate them doing that because it's a very brave thing to do. It's a very scary thing, to check that box when you're at the DMV, but it's a very, very brave thing to do. So if you can, I would highly recommend it. You'd be saving a lot of lives. And if you can't, that's okay. That's okay. So he got his liver transplant at 6 in the morning on Tuesday. And the doctor came back and said there was literally a 50-50 shot that he had to go back in. So he went back in Wednesday. They fixed all his leaky pipes. And he was doing real good. Real good. They extubated him. They got the tube out Thursday. And he was doing real good. He did real good Thursday, Friday, even Saturday he was doing really good. They were trying to pull this line out of his neck, and it was bleeding a lot on Saturday. It bled for a little too long. But she finally took it out after about 12 hours. But it was bleeding pretty badly. And then after that day, it's gone downhill a little bit. We're having a couple of setbacks. His hemoglobin keeps dropping. They keep giving him units of blood. They keep giving him some platelets. And I'm just sitting there watching him just get bigger in his tummy and in his abdomen. And, I'm thinking in my head, something's not right. Something's not right at all. So I told them on Tuesday, and I told them Wednesday, yesterday, that something is not right and they need to start doing something else. They did a thoracentesis on Tuesday, which They literally just poke you in the lung and take out all the extra fluid that's in there, and that helped. But he had so much ascites fluid in his tummy that last night when they started to roll him over, when he was flat laying on the bed and they started to roll him over, his heart rate dropped because of all the pressure in his abdomen was just too much on his veins and on his heart. So that dropped drastically. So they stopped doing that. They had to put in another central line. They had to give him, he's on 2 blood pressure medications right now, and they had to give him a lot of units of blood. So we just got a phone call at 2 in the morning that the surgeon is going to bring him back in, take a look, open him up. They really wanted to get a CT scan first, but they think that he's at a critical point to where he needs to go in immediately. So I drove down here right when they called me at 11 o'clock saying that they were having some issues. So I've been sitting here for a little while, and I'm just sitting here waiting. I'm waiting for, the doctors and the surgeons to come back in and to tell me that they found the bleeder and that everything is okay. So Justin can get back up to his room, and so he can heal. So I ask every single one of you, if you can, say a quick prayer for Justin tonight, okay? And we just want him to come home to his family. And all the week that he was intubated, the week following when he coded, I sang to him the whole time that I was up there. I would sing to him, "You are my sunshine," and then I made up my own little verse, and it went something like this, if you want to hear it. It went, "You are my husband, you are my rock, you are my best friend, that'll never stop. Please come home to your family, 'cause we love and miss you so dearly." And then I would sing the Sunshine Song to him over and over. And I hope it helps. And I hope that he can come out of this stronger. And I know he'll come out of this stronger. So please know, honey, that I'm making this video for you, and I love you very much. And I'm just sitting here waiting for you to come back. So please come back. And I want everyone to know that we are so thankful and just so overwhelmed with all the love and the responses that you guys give. And we appreciate it very much, because it helps. It does help when you're going through something like this. So thank you so much for everyone that's commented, that has sent a letter, that has donated, that has bought a t-shirt from his t-shirt shop. We thank you very much so. So I'm gonna sign off here, and I'll do another video when I get an update from the surgeons with some good news. So I will be posting this soon. See you later.